I'm Sister Carol Jean Dust, School Sister of Notre Dame. I'm a general counselor. My home is in Rome at this time. We are here at the General Chapter, the 24th General Chapter of our congregation, and October the 17th is the United Nations International Day for the Eradication of Poverty. This year marks the 25th anniversary of this day when the General Assembly of the United Nations approved it. They approved it based on an event that happened 30 years ago. So it's the 30th anniversary of an event that happened in Paris, France in 1987, when Father Joseph Rosinsky called together dignitaries from around the world and asked them to come together to defend human and civil rights of those who are living in hunger, those who are living with violence, those who were suffering around the world. And he had the conviction that human misery is not inevitable. But if we work in solidarity, we can strive to eradicate extreme poverty. So he said these words on that day: "Whenever men and women are condemned to live in extreme poverty, human rights are violated. To come together to ensure that these rights be respected is our solemn duty." Actually, this call that he made 30 years ago was preceded a year before by our own approval of our Constitution, "You Are Sent." In that time, we were also hearing, as School Sisters of Notre Dame, the same kind of call that was expressed in different ways, sort of as a thread that moved through our own Constitution. For example, in our prologue, we speak about our foundress, Blessed Teresa of Jesus, that was a woman of faith who preferred the poor and responded to urgent needs. We also read in our Constitution, paragraph 17, "Our living of gospel poverty urges us to serve the poor. Making the concerns of the poor our own, we become painfully aware of the many who suffer privations stemming from the sinfulness of our world." And again in another paragraph, 23, it says we engage in a diversity of ministries, specific services through which we work for the enablement of persons. In another paragraph, we are impelled to prefer the poor. And in another paragraph, our General Directory 33, working together toward the enablement of persons and the promotion of human dignity, we contribute to positive systemic change in society. So we can see that as a congregation, these words remain very much in the forefront of who we are, in our hearts, in our way of life, in our ministries. And here at this 24th General Chapter, we have had on several evenings the opportunity to view what happened at 3 other General Chapters. In 1987, this was the year for this call to action that Father Rosinsky did. In 1992 and 1997. And in all of those 3 chapters also, this theme, this thread has been very evident. We remember the chapter themes and directions. One of them, making the concerns of the poor our own. In another directional statement we said, to reverse those personal and communal choices which exploit the earth and impoverish peoples. We've been wanting to work, we have been trying to work for this systemic change. And in another chapter we said, to open ourselves to conversion, necessary to embrace the gospel responsibility to live simply, making the concerns of the poor our own. And finally another, to promote education for all, especially for those who are marginalized and forgotten. And that brings us to our 24th General Chapter. Here we know that our theme for this chapter is content with little. We joyfully direct our entire lives toward that oneness for which Jesus Christ was sent. Yes, directing our entire lives involves how we pray, how we live in community, and how we work in our ministries, directing all of that toward that oneness. So to eradicate poverty in our world will bring about that gift of oneness to which we are all called. On this 17th day of October then, we as a congregation also join with the world community. We come together to recognize the needs of those who are poor, and also to be in strong bonds of solidarity with them, people living in all kinds of walks of life. And we can affirm that we make our commitments to work together to overcome extreme poverty. We are grateful to the world community, to the United Nations for raising up this day, and we stand together with all peoples of the world to eradicate poverty, to bring civil and human rights more to the forefront, that all people can live as one. Thank you.